In northern, the Taklamakan Desert, a golden sea of sand stretching over 300,000 square kilometers. For centuries, wind and dust ruled this place. Entire villages disappeared under powerful sandstorms. Skies turned dark in the middle of the day. Life struggled to survive, but today something extraordinary is happening. Across this endless desert, green forests are beginning to rise. Barren land is coming back to life. China calls this mission the Green Great Wall. It is one of the largest ecological restoration projects in human history. Millions of hectares have been reclaimed. Hundreds of millions of trees have been planted, a transformation once thought impossible. How did China turn lifeless dunes into living landscapes? Let's explore the journey. The threat of sand. For generations, northern China faced a silent enemy. Each year, winds swept down from the Gobi and Taklamakan deserts. Massive dust storms covered Beijing. In the 1990s, some years forced people to wear masks for more than 80 days, just to breathe safely. The Taklamakan receives less than 100 millimeters of rain per year. That is 10 times drier than California. Each square meter gets barely half a liter of water per week, not enough for plants to survive, not enough for life to grow. Temperatures rise above 40 degrees in summer. They fall below -20 in winter. Sandstorms strike without warning, and human activity made everything worse. Deforestation. Overgrazing, groundwater depletion. The desert kept spreading, wider and wider. China's answer: the Green Great Wall. In 1978, China launched a long-term plan, the Three North Shelter Belt Program, known around the world as the Green Great Wall. It is not a single wall of trees. It is a huge system of forests, lakes, and windbreaks, more than 4,500 kilometers long, a green shield across northern China. The goal: plant 35 million hectares of forest by 2050. Raise forest coverage from 10% to more than 25%. A project not built with steel or concrete, but with determination. Stabilizing the desert. The mission began with data: satellites, drones, maps showing how dunes move with the wind. From this research came a simple but powerful idea: straw checkerboards. Workers laid millions of straw grids across the sand, each grid about 20 by 20 feet. From above, the desert looks like a massive golden chessboard. Creating these grids is extremely difficult. Temperatures can reach 49 degrees Celsius. Vehicles sink into the sand. There is almost no shade. Yet these straw squares are essential. They hold the dunes in place. They slow the wind. They create small pockets of moisture, just enough for life to begin again. Planting life back into the desert. Once the straw grid is ready, machines drill holes in the center of each square. Workers plant drought-resistant species like saxaul, red willow, and desert poplar. Seedlings grown in nurseries are carefully placed into the sand. The straw protects their roots from heat and erosion. As it decomposes, it becomes natural fertilizer. Little by little, these plants extend their roots deeper into the ground. They form a living network that anchors the dunes and slowly transforms the desert. using the power of the sun. China also turned to its greatest resource, sunlight. The Taklamakan receives over 2,700 hours of sun each year. So engineers built 86 solar pumping stations along the 436-kilometer Tarim Desert Highway. Solar panels produce electricity. Electricity pumps groundwater from more than 100 meters deep. Pipes deliver water through drip irrigation systems that keep more than 200,000 trees alive. This created the world's first carbon-neutral desert highway, a place where sunlight becomes electricity, electricity becomes water, and water brings life. To save space, solar panels are elevated 2 meters above the ground. Plants grow in the shade below them. Soil stays cooler. Moisture lasts longer. In a land once called the Sea of Death, the sun has become a source of life. High-tech solar towers. China also built solar power towers using thousands of mirrors. These mirrors track the sun and concentrate light onto a central tower. Inside, molten salt is heated above 540 degrees Celsius. This creates steam that powers turbines. Stored heat allows electricity production even at night. A single 50-megawatt tower costs around $130 million, but it provides clean, stable energy in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Ecotourism and the desert highway. As the desert becomes greener, new opportunities rise. China has built ecotourism routes combining forests, solar farms, and cultural sites. Visitors can experience Uyghur and Mongolian traditions. They can take camel rides across the dunes for $40 to $120 per trip. To connect these areas, China built the Tarim Desert Highway, 300 kilometers through the heart of the desert. Completed in just 2 years, temperatures exceeded 50 degrees during construction. Sandstorms were constant. Engineers used layers of gravel, straw mats, and geotextiles. to stop the sand from swallowing the road. Today, the highway connects research bases, solar fields, and tourist zones. It crosses a land that once seemed impossible to reach. The results. After decades of work, the results are extraordinary. More than 30 million hectares of land have been regreened. Forest coverage has risen from 10% to over 25%. Sandstorms have decreased by more than 80% in some regions. Thousands of tons of carbon dioxide are now absorbed every year. Forests of poplar, hawthorn, almond, and walnut trees stretch across areas that were once nothing but shifting dunes. The desert is breathing again. But challenges remain. Not everything is perfect. In the early years, China planted mostly poplars and willows. These trees grow fast but consume a lot of water and are vulnerable to disease. At one point, more than 1 billion poplar trees died. Some studies show that desertification continued in certain areas, despite the rise in forest cover. Experts now agree the future depends on restoring complete ecosystems, not just planting trees. Native shrubs, grasses, and diverse species will be key to long-term success. Final thoughts. China's Green Great Wall is a massive achievement, a mix of science, engineering, and human determination. But it also teaches an important lesson. A land is not truly alive unless its roots belong to the soil beneath it. What do you think? A miracle of nature? A triumph of human innovation? Or a fragile victory that still needs time? Let me know your thoughts. And stay tuned for more stories of technology, transformation, and discovery, right here on Legacy of Tomorrow.